Hi, I'm John McConnell. Welcome to my show, Yoga with John. Nice to have you here. Um, I wanted to say thank you to some people who have contacted me recently. Haven't done a show in a little while, and so there's a few people, but it's always nice to say hi. So I have a list. Um, Cassandra, Cindy, John, Dwayne, Pooja, Betsy, Karen, Amy, Andrea, Liz, Trisha, Jim, Elizabeth, Terry, and PJ. So I think people either liked my Facebook page, which is let's see, facebook.com/John McConnell Yoga, or went to my website, johnmcconnellyoga.com. Sent me an email or something. So I always like that, you know. I like to be in touch with people. And another thing is for people who are watching this around Vermont, you can always take my classes that are my live classes. And so you can find out where those are on johnmcconnellyoga.com. All right. So I wanted to tell a little story. I just came back from doing a workshop with Todd Norian, somebody I've studied with for a while, great guy. And um, so it was like a 5-day workshop. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but you know, you go off somewhere, it's like in the middle of summer, there's other things going on, and it's like pulling teeth, like really like pulling teeth to feel like it's okay to leave your life to go away to do something, even though like you planned on it, and you know since you set it up, probably there's a reason that you want to do it. You want to do it. But for me, whenever I go to something like this, I don't know, I'm really stressed out and kind of not that into it. And so I went, and the first night I was like, wow, I'm practicing really well, and my body was feeling really good, but there was definitely something missing to it. And the same thing the second full day, I was, um, physically it was going really well, but it was sort of, I don't know, kind of shallow for me. And um, then the second full day, I just decided, I decided to be here. Let's just be here and have fun, you know. And the rest of the workshop was so much fun. And I was thinking about it afterwards. I've been thinking about it, and I realized the thing that was lacking was like joy. Like I wasn't enjoying it. And once I decided to bring joy to the experience, it was just so much better. Even though technically it was still, pretty much the same, that wasn't enough. And I recognize in teaching and in personal experience from my yoga practice that can happen in a yoga practice. You can be like, okay, I have to be here. I need to get this done. Let's get this over with. And, you can be there physically, but, and even be there in your mind. But if you aren't being there with a sense of joy and celebration of it, that's not really yoga. The point of practicing, like the highest purpose of the yoga practice, is to remember your goodness. Just you want it to be a celebration. And when it's not that, then it's just like physical movement, and it loses that sweetness that is the intention. It's this creation that is part of a philosophy that it says, hey, you're great, and do these postures and breathe, and hopefully that'll help you remember that. But if you don't have the intention connected to that higher purpose, then I don't know, it's sort of flat. Like what I experienced at this training the first couple of days. So as you practice today, and always as you practice, do your best to think of it as a celebration. You know, it's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be lighthearted, and you're supposed to feel better afterwards, not only mentally, not only physically, but mentally, and feel better about yourself and your heart. You know, if that isn't happening, then you need to make a change. You know, because it's called a practice, and you're practicing something. So if you're practicing being mad at yourself because you're not doing well in your yoga practice or in your life, you're probably going to get good at that. And if you practice seeing the good in your practice and practice with an intention of being happier from it, then that practice, I think, transfers over into like your work and other aspects of your life. Like everything is about seeing the good in yourself and others. So, you know, practice what you want to get good at. I think. All right. So with that, just close your eyes. Get a comfortable seat. Sit nice and tall. So find space along the sides of the ribs. Roll more open through your upper arms, broad through your heart. And move your head back a little bit so it's right over your heart. And breathe. And think of the breath as an opportunity to help you create lightness. And there's this cool breathing that I learned at this retreat I was at that I'll share with you. So when you inhale, start the inhale from the base of the pelvis and stay really grounded there. And then as you inhale, feel the breath rise up like a hot air balloon rising, but it's like it's tethered, so it's grounded at the core. And then as you exhale, feel your breath keep rising from your heart all the way up to the crown of your head and out the top of the crown of your head. So again, as you inhale, start at the core and fill up to the heart, but stay rooted. And then as you exhale, keep everything but get a little taller, reach up through the crown of the head, and just let your energy extend out through the crown of your head. A couple more times. For me, it really feels like, wow, I'm really tall and bright, but I'm present. It's kind of a cool breath for that feeling. Notice as you exhale, you might feel yourself like naturally rise a little bit, which is kind of cool. Okay, and then we'll bring our palms together at our heart center. Chant the sound of Om together, and we'll chant one time and let the Om really come from this place of intention of seeing the good in yourself and in your effort today in your practice. So one Om, take a full exhale and a deep, sweet inhale. And release your hands, open your eyes, and we'll start on our hands and knees today.
A little bit of bend in the knees, widen the hips, keep the shins hugging in, long through the sides of the ribs, ground down under the base of your fingers. You know, just so you want to get yourself in alignment, but just to be safe and then to be happy. So find the lightness in the posture. Enjoy your effort. Steadying your breath. And come forward, lower yourself down. Come all the way down to the mat. Point your toes, gentle lifting of the heart. Nothing crazy right now. Shoulders cascading down the back and your heart just gently reaching forward, along through all sides of your neck. Easy breathing. And go back to downward dog. Widen your knees, widen your feet a little bit, bend the knees, hug the shins in, widen in the thighs. Reach back through your butt as you ground down in the feet. This wide foot position is kind of cool. It gives you more access to your hips. Then just find the joy in the effort, you know. Don't end in the alignment part or the posture part even. You know, think of that as a way to find it's like a gateway to your heart. Okay, and walk your feet forward. Come into forward fold. Feet hips distance apart and parallel. Bring your hands to your shins and hug in at your shins, widen at your thighs. Keep your knees where they are. So lift gently in the kneecaps. And every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Long through all sides of your neck. Nice breathing. And then rise all the way up, reach your hands high. Look up toward the sky. So it's nice in class, you know, I'll say look up toward the sky, but here, there actually is a sky, which is pretty awesome. All right, exhale, fold forward all the way down. And then walk your feet back, we'll come into table. And in table, just arch and curl your back real easy. So as you inhale, rock the pelvis forward, drop the chest, lift your head. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone, curl in the back, drop the head. Move back and forth at your own pace. And really connect to your experience. Now, some people have told me that they'll go to a yoga class and the teachers want them to do exactly what they say, whether they like it or not. And, you know, I think really the point of the practice is you want to get to know yourself, you know, do the best you can do and know your body. So if you have little aches and pains and want to do something different, that's great that you know that about yourself. And here, if you know, like, wow, I'm a little tight here, it'd be great to stop, go ahead and stop and breathe into that. So I'm not saying like just come into class or do this video or this show and do whatever you want, but you know, use it as a way to learn about your body and take my instruction and see how that works for you. All right, come back to a neutral spine. Bring your right foot forward and just keep the left knee down, and then we can twist to the right. Look up toward your right fingers. Stay heavy on your outer right thigh. Long through the sides of the ribs and long through your neck. So each inhale, there's length, and exhale, you twist a little further. Stay steady. Okay, lower the lifted hand and we'll switch sides. So I'm bringing my left foot forward, raising my left hand up. So I was at this retreat, one of the things we worked on is in the beginning of practice more doing all the different types of stretching, which I thought's really cool. Because then you got it all done at the first part, and then, you know, at least you got that. So that's why I'm adding some twists and forward folds and back bends. So from here, go back to table, and actually we'll take a little child's pose. So this could be considered a little bit of a hip opener. So the knees are a little wide, hands are forward, and you can rest your forehead to the floor or forehead on your hands. So really work to be here. Now we came from somewhere to do the yoga practice, and we're going somewhere after the yoga practice. But right now is the yoga practice. So let yourself be present with this experience. Each breath, feel the inhale and the exhale happen. Okay, so come up, go back to downward dog. Walk your feet forward, come into forward fold. Steadying your feet and then rise all the way up. So just look down at your feet. Have your feet parallel, hips distance apart. And right hand to your hip, raise the left hand up and we'll arch over to the right. Think about lifting up and over like you're going over a big rock. Stay really open through your chest. Bright from the inside out. Long through all sides of your neck. Okay, come back and we'll do the other side. So I'm going over to the left here. So keep your right foot grounded down if you're going to the left. Really get space, all sides of the neck. Okay, back to center, raise both hands high, and exhale, fold forward all the way down. You can get a hold of your big toes with your first two fingers and thumb. Flare your elbows out and fold a little deeper. Think about the center of your body, like all the way through the crown of your head, reaching more toward the floor, and then the sides of your body reaching back. So that means your shoulder blades reaching back. Pull your core in. It's this cool feeling of like you're really reaching forward through the crown and pulling back with your shoulders. Something about it seems to allow for deeper fold. But in your effort, if you get to a place in your effort where it's just not that fun, back off, Make it so that you can maintain a sense of lightness about it. Okay, go back to downward dog. A little pedaling in the feet. One heel comes more to the floor than the other. And then both knees bend, hips lift high, broad through the hips, strong in the arms. And next inhale, glide forward. And lower your knees down, come all the way down. Lift your chest up slightly and then look over your right shoulder. So keep a little scoop in the tailbone as you do that. Long through the sides of the ribs, long out through the crown of your head. Steady breathing. Stay grounded right on the tops of your toes and right above your kneecaps. You can always get a little bit more, There's a little bit more length, a little bit more openness, a little bit more connection to your light, your experience. Okay, then lower down, go to the other side. Go over the left shoulder. Soft eyes. See the good in your effort. Okay, lower down, curl the toes, back to downward dog. And walk your feet forward, come into forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands high, reach tall, and then take your right hand, hold on to the left wrist, and again, we'll just arch over. So pull on the wrist a little bit, finding more length through the left side of the ribs. Feel that left foot really ground down, and then come up and switch. Really ground down through the right foot. Long through all sides of the neck. Back to center. Great. So from here, bring your right foot back. Turn your hips to face the front of your mat. Hug in at your shins, widen at the thighs even here. Lift the kneecaps. So all that creates steadiness. But then, have some joy in it. So long through the sides of the ribs, long through the sides of your neck. Reach up through the crown of the head. Reach your hands up. Reach out and fold forward. Maintain the steadiness in the legs. as you pulse with your breath here. Each inhale, find some length. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Hug in at the shins. Be real patient, you know. Each breath a real opportunity to find this moment, you know. Find how you're doing right now. Be willing to see your light in this moment right now. Keep the tops of your thighs, particularly the front thigh, reaching back. Even the back thigh is reaching back and coming into the hip socket. Okay, then look forward. Walk your hands forward a little and rock up, come into a standing split. Hips are level and reach your inner thigh of your standing leg a little higher, or your lifted leg a little higher. So keep hugging in at your standing shin, broaden through your standing thigh. Steady breath, then lower the lifted leg down. We'll just bring the other leg back from here. Keep the hips facing forward. And think about this idea of scissoring the legs. So it's like your legs are ends of a scissors and you're trying to pull them together. So my right leg's forward, so my outer right hip's reaching back and my inner left thigh's reaching back. Another way to think of it is your outer back thigh's reaching forward. So it's like the outer front thigh's reaching back, outer back thigh's reaching forward, and hug to the middle. Wow, there's a night heron right there, which is kind of a rare bird to see. That's pretty awesome. Okay, bring your back foot, rock forward, come into standing split, hug at the shin. Lift the lifted leg a little higher, bring your hips level. You just want to, you do all these little adjustments so it feels good, so you can get to the happiness. But if you just kind of go into it and you're sort of lax about it, actually, then you can hurt yourself. And so that's why it's important to have some structure, but then that creates freedom of the heart. Okay, lower the lifted leg. Nice, steady grounding, forward fold. Let the shoulder blades more come on the back as the crown of the head more reaches forward. And rock back and forth a little bit. You want to find grounding right on the balance point of the body, which is right in front of your heel. So if you feel all your weight on your heel, that's too far back. Feel all your weight on your toes, too far forward. It's actually right in front of the heel. Okay, hands to the hips. Rise all the way up.
Good. Face the side of your mat. It's pretty awesome to see this night heron, because you don't see them very often. They're really funny birds. They're sort of squat compared to like a regular heron. It's like the heron's crazy cousin. It's like extend the arms out. Hug in at the shins, widen at the hips, widen at the thighs, lift the crown up, out through the fingers, and then fold forward. Hands down to the floor. Maybe he likes yoga, or she likes yoga. Probably. So every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Be with your posture, this practice, this experience.
Okay, so from here, walk over to your right leg. Keep your left hip back and fold over your right leg. Along the left side of the ribs. So keep reaching your left hip back. Find space along the left side of the rib cage. And come back to center, go the other side. So keep the right hip back. And just breathe with a sense of lightness. Okay, back to center, hands to your hips. Rise up. That was good. Come back to the front of your mat. Night Heron's still there. It's liking it. Raise your hands high. Reach tall. Exhale, fold forward. And go back to downward dog. So bring your right foot forward to a lunge and then bring your foot more to the middle of the mat. Then lower the knee down to the right. So it's like just a pretty wide hip opener. And if that feels okay, if it's hard, then bring the foot a little closer to your hip. And come down on your forearms. Think about your front shin more lifting towards your chest. And your front outer thigh, your front thigh more pushing down toward the floor. And feel an engagement around the muscles of your knee. And then the back leg, hug in at the shin toward the midline, widen out at the thigh. Feel your stomach lift up toward the sky and pull in. And find your breath. Like you get all set up and then it's like, this is awesome. This feels nice. I could do this for a little while. Nice steady breath. Okay. Come up. You can just come to table. Well, actually, come up to downward dog. And then left leg forward to the middle. Let that left knee fall over to the left. And then point your back toes. Lifting the shin up more toward the sky and the thigh reaching down toward the floor more. Real steady through the knee. You can look back toward your back toes. Just make sure all the toes are on the floor and your heels lined up with your second toe, like a nice straight line. All right, that feels nice. Go back to table position. Have your knees a little wider, big toes touching. Settle yourself back onto your heels and you can rest your forehead just straight on the floor, or sometimes it's nice to stack your hands and just stack your head on your hands. Each exhale, release. Inhale, find inner space. And you can even do that breath we did earlier where you start at the core and you really feel rooted, and as you inhale, even though you're inhaling, you're even rooting more and expanding as you inhale. And then as you exhale, even though you're exhaling, you stay expanded as you feel the energy rise up all the way out through the crown of your head. Okay, and then extend your arms forward and walk your arms to the right. Take your left hand over the top of your right and reach your left hip more back. Okay, and then come back to center and do the other side. Right hip back. Nice breathing. Right on. Okay, let's come up. We'll go back to downward dog. Little pedal in the knees here. Feel your inner armpits move forward. Turn your lower arms in, more grounded under the base of your fingers. Reach up through your butt. And then lighten in your heart. Okay, from here, bring the right foot forward to a lunge. And ground the back heel down. And we'll come up to warrior two. So I'll just turn this way. Extend the arms. Hug in at your shins and actually lift up your outer back foot and just pull in. Feel the engagement of that back leg, and then keep that as you extend the outer foot back down. So it's this engagement of your inner thigh. It's just pretty great. And then maybe you can get a little lower with that leg all strong. Hug in at the shins. Real broad through your heart. Nice breath here. And then let's bring the front forearm to the thigh. Bring your thumb and index finger together. And then reach your back hand up over the head. And turn your heart more to the sky. Your stomach, your chest, your head. Feel your lower ribs tuck in more. That'll engage your stomach, and feel the right below your ribs in the back puff up a little. And then lift your heart. Keep that, but lift your heart slightly. Okay, come up. Hands to your hips, rotate your feet. This bird is awesome. It's just sitting there. I love that. Come into warrior two. Extend the arms. Like I'm moving and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. It's great. Lift the back foot, pull in, and then extend the back foot back down as you hug in. Lunge a little deeper. Hips, chest, facing to the side, and then your head just looks forward. Easy breathing. Oh, he's moving. Front forearm to the thigh, back hand lifts up. You can make thumb and first finger come together, and then turn your chest, your stomach, your head up toward the sky, long through the left side of the ribs, long through the crown of your head. So stay rooted from your hips down to your feet as you lengthen more through your head, through your lifted fingers. Okay, strong in the feet, come up. Hands to your hips. Feet parallel. And let's once again fold forward. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold a little deeper. Nice pulsing with the breath. Okay, rise up. Bring your feet together and stay grounded in the right foot. Place your left foot on your right thigh or anywhere except right at your knee. If the thigh feels good, try that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Hands to your heart. So there's really this feeling of, okay, got to find steadiness, got to find this place. You get the setup, then go deeper, then find the sweetness in it, tall through the sides of the ribs, up through the crown of the head. Reach your hands up to the sky. Soften your eyes.
You want to keep that effort, but on top of that, find a light heart. Steady breathing. If you want to try to take long blinks of the eyes, maybe the eyes closed for like a quarter second, maybe it's closed for half a second, maybe it's closed for a second, and see if you can keep your balance. It's a fun little thing to practice. Nope, lost it. Okay, other side. Place the foot. Again, wherever feels good. Palms at your heart. You just don't want to push into your knee because it just can push your knee in the wrong direction, hurt your knee a little. Speaking of your knees, feel the kneecap of the standing leg lift slightly. Hug in at your standing shin. Get real steady and then raise your hands. Long through the sides of the ribs, crown of the head. Reach out through your fingers. So you want to have this feeling of like you're really working, but you're soft in your eyes. It's like no one would know it, you know, and you're light in your heart. And maybe you're even smiling a little. What the hell? Okay. Release your foot. Great. Our bird is still with us. That's good news. Raise your hands high. Exhale, fold forward all the way down.
Here, hug in at the shins and also feel your outer shins reach more back. So they hug in and more reach back. And then feel your thighs widen, your inner thighs move back. Knees actually bend a little. Walk back to downward dog. Inner armpits move forward. Index fingers more ground. And then reach the hips high. It feels good. Feels good to be upside down and feel the sun on my face in this direction. It's kind of great. Okay, then bring yourself forward. Come to a seat.
Sit with your feet parallel and nice tall through the heart, hands by your hips, and then sit straight up. So you want the shoulders to come up more toward the ears, roll open through the heart, bring the shoulder blades on the back, and then relax the shoulders down the back. Sides of the neck go back and lift up through the crown of your head. Heavy inhale, lengthen. Heavy exhale, feel a little more grounded. So it's interesting when you work with the breath, like what I was doing earlier, you do the opposite. So you stay grounded as you inhale and get really broad. And then as you exhale, you stay broad and get taller. Which I kind of like. I haven't really done that too much before. Okay, so raise your hands high. And reach out and fold. Crown of the head reaching forward and your shoulder blades more pulling back. It's nice to think of every breath as an opportunity of something. And I think of it as an opportunity to be more of yourself. Opportunity to see yourself more as yourself. You know, why not? What the hell? Keep the shoulder blades moving down the back as you reach out through the crown of the head. Feel the shins hug in, widen at the thighs. Okay, then come up, bring the right foot in. to the left thigh. So it's kind of like tree, but on the ground, sort of. Um, Janu Shirshasana. So the foot is really hugging into the thigh and you're twisting to face the front leg. And then fold here. You can hold on to the foot, lengthen through the crown of the head as the shoulder blades come back. Keep your heart melting toward think of it melting toward your foot. Stomach engaged and lifting up. The engagement of the stomach should help with the forward fold, just keeping it more safe. And then imagine your heart more reaching forward. So, you are curling forward in this kind of posture, but then lengthen more from your heart. Okay, come up and switch sides. Face your straight leg and fold. There's a little twist here. So my right leg's straight. And bring the right part of your stomach away from the right leg as you fold forward. Lengthening through the crown of the head as the shoulders relax down. You can spread your toes. Feels really good to spread your toes. Think of your whole foot broadening as you do that. So every inhale, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Shoulders relaxing down. You're always, basically you're just always trying to find space. Openness, lightness, seeing the good. It doesn't really change too much. That's what's awesome about it. All right, come up. Straighten both legs. Raise your hands and reach out and fold. There is seeing all these different aspects of yourself, seeing how you run into problems and maybe you run away or run toward them, or how you face fear and more difficult postures. But it's quite fascinating how, we're just on this mat, but we're really, the way I look at it is we're really practicing life and seeing how we handle things. And doesn't mean suddenly in our regular life we won't treat things like that, but it's like just awareness. Like, oh yeah, right. I do run away from stuff when I'm a little scared. But on the mat, maybe I'll practice not doing that, and I'll get better at it. Okay. Raise the hands up. And release the hands. Lay down onto your back. Oh, that's a nice feeling. So just let yourself be here. So the exhale is really releasing. Inhale. Nice and bright, spacious. You can try that pranayama breathing exercise we did earlier, where when you start the inhale, you just feel really grounded. Keep the grounding as you feel the breath move up towards your heart and expand. And then keep everything and exhale and extend the breath out through the crown of your head. It's kind of this, I don't know, it feels like a pretty great way to stay grounded and really find space in your breath. I like it as just a different way. So with your left foot flat, extend your right foot up toward the sky and interlace your right fingers behind your right thigh. Push the thigh into your fingers and then bring your foot more over your head. Hug in at your shin, your lifted shin, even your shin on the ground. Widen in your hips. As you widen, rock your pelvis forward more. Widen up all the way through the base of your ribs and your back. And then a little scoop in the tailbone. Roll open more through your shoulders. Breathe with a light heart. every breath a chance to be more with yourself. And the joy of that in the yoga philosophy is that you're being with happiness because you're innately good. So the more you can be with yourself, the more you're being with the good of yourself, you know? Since everybody's good, if you're with yourself, like, that's just how it works. Think about it. All right, switch sides. Extend the foot, spread the toes. So all the tensions, so going with that idea, all your tensions, you know, aren't you, which is pretty great to remember. And it's pretty obvious if you think about it, because how could they be? Because they change all the time. So they're just kind of on top of your goodness. So just decide in each posture to be with the posture and then be with the goodness of yourself. Release that foot, widen your feet, and let the knees fall to the center. Just as a little rest in the legs. And then extend your arms out like an airplane. Lift your hips up a little bit to the left and drop your knees to the right. And then turn your head to the left. So try to stack your knees. If your left shoulder lifts up a little bit, that's right. Just lift your chest and rotate your chest more to the left. Having the intention of really grounding down the knees to the right and the shoulder to the left. As you breathe, feel space along the left side of the ribs. Okay, and then come back, and we'll do the other side. So the knees will go to the left and the head to the right. You can lift your chest up a little bit. So as you lift your chest up, you just lift the left shoulder up and drop the right shoulder down. Smooth breathing. Find space along the right side of the ribs. So you're rolling your right hip away from you as your right shoulder more grounds down. Okay, back to center. Bring your knees in, and then just a little wide. And let yourself rock side to side. Relaxing. Releasing in your back, releasing in your knees. And then extend your legs straight out. Come into Shavasana. So, with Shavasana, legs straight, palms facing up toward the sky. It really is the ultimate in being all right with where you're at, letting go, dwelling in your own light. So we'll be here for just a little bit, just enjoy it. I'll bring us out of it in just a little while. Slowly allow your breath to deepen. And bring a little movement to your fingers, a little bit to your toes. Reach your arms up over your head as you stretch your feet away from you. Real tall along the mat, and then roll to the right side. Use your right arm as a pillow.
Knees come in comfortably. And take your time. Move yourself up to a seat. And keep your eyes closed.
You can just place your hands on your knees. Return to that breath we did earlier, where you start the breath in the core. As you inhale, the breath rises to the heart. Stay really bright. And then from the heart, it extends out through the crown of the head, staying broad and open. A couple breaths like that. Staying grounded as you inhale, and then the inhale creates natural expansion, and getting tall through the exhale naturally happens, but then the exhale, you maintain the expansion. Kind of fun. Okay, bring your palms together at your heart center. And from the light of your heart, we'll chant the sound of Om together one time. So full exhale. Deep, sweet inhale. Namaste. All right. I hope you found that of benefit. And keep in touch. Take care.